It is such an honor, Lynn, to be your discussant this morning. Thank you. For those of you who do not know me and my relationship to Lynn, Lynn was my professor at Teachers College in 1994 when I was a pre-service teacher. And so a lot of what she is speaking about now actually kind of set the foundation for me as an educator those years ago, and now as a teacher educator and as a dean. So I owe a lot of who I am and my take on the work from Lynn. She introduced me to Paulo Freire, which you saw was a theme throughout her talk, and really is so pertinent today and connects to so many of the themes that we're looking at in our society as we develop teachers and work with students. Lynn talked a little bit about Lav's work on with regards to this alienated condition of contemporary life. And what we're seeing currently in schools, as Lynn mentioned, we're still seeing a lot of schools that are segregated, even more so than when segregation was. Can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
Yes.
We lost her?
Did you, you can't hear me?
Oh, yeah, okay, you're back. Great. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
We lost you for a moment.
Okay.
Yes.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, keep going.
No. And so what Rebecca is doing in intentionally connecting, not just connecting with the community, the Dominican community that she's serving, but also infusing herself and becoming a part of, is really critical to the work, right? Paulo Freire talks about collective critical consciousness as being a part of the work. And Lynn mentioned this idea of the practice of freedom and teachers' role in developing those tools with regards to their students. That the work that Rebecca is engaging in is political work. In 1963, James Baldwin spoke to a group of about 200 predominantly white teachers in Harlem, New York. And in his speech, he suggested that for Black children to be denied the right to an education that is critical, rigorous, and historically accurate is a crime. But it's not only a crime against Black children, it is also a crime against white children as well. And I think a lot of what we are witnessing and we are seeing now, and perhaps historically, is the consequence of the majority citizenry that has been miseducated to believe that white intelligence, ingenuity, bravery are the foundation of a democratic society and a just society, and that all others survive due to their benevolence. So conceptualizing racial advantage solely as a privileged or an unearned advantage, I think minimizes kind of the destructive power, what we are witnessing currently right now. And so I feel that the work that Lynn is doing and that Rebecca is doing in the classroom helps to break that apart. What we tend to think about in the American education system, I know for myself, as a woman of color growing up in a low-income urban community, I grew up in South Central Los Angeles. My parents struggled to put me in private school because they felt that being in school with a white education would help me to make it in society. But what we really need to think about is if we train all of our children, even our children from diverse backgrounds, in a system that oppresses them, how then will we ever break the chains of the oppression, of the racial bigotry that we're seeing now. We're just perpetuating it. So this idea of leveraging the families, the Louis Moore's idea of funds of knowledge, leveraging the community's knowledge and bringing that to bear. You said something that was really beautiful, Lynn. You said that Rebecca is using what the children's background, experiences, language in the creation of pathways into their hearts. And I think that that is the critical piece of teaching that we need to capture and replicate so we can use that as a pathway in dismantling the destructive elements of education that also begets these destructive elements of our society. And with that, I'm going to stop because I could talk about this all day. I was so inspired by your talk, Lynn, and perhaps we should shift to questions right now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. This is definitely a very powerful talk and also powerful discussion. So next we'll see what kind of questions we have, okay?